Hello and welcome back in our continued journey of mastering algebra. And so far in the journey, we have become hopefully comfortable with the idea of multiplying these two terms and reaching this term, this expression, and going backwards and being able to factorize this into this form as such. That is the sum total of the journey that we have made so far. We played with a lot more scenarios, but this is the essence of it. So today we want to step up from there and learn about factor theorem, remainder theorem, connect this idea to input-output relationships and finding the zero or the root of the polynomial. Now all of this in the technical term sounds complicated, but once again the ideas are going to be fairly easy, day zero, commonsensical kind of ideas. You just have to forget about the terms for a bit. Once the idea is clear, then connect it to the term later, right? So we are already familiar with an expression like this. All I now want to do is I say, can I connect it to some other variable, say y. So I say this is equal to y, and then once again we started off our journey, algebra journey, with algebra as input output. So can we think of values of y for a given value of x? So let's just play the game. I say x is equal to 1. So what are we doing? Wherever I have an x, instead of the x, I will put a 1. And whatever is happening to the x, for example here, it is getting squared. That will also happen to the 1. So let's play that game. I put the 1. So we have to kind of visualize. Instead of x, I have a 1 and it's a 1 square. Plus, I have a 2x. Instead of x, I have a 1. So 2 into 1. Here I don't have an x or anything, and this is equal to y. So let me calculate this. 1 square is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 15 is minus 12. So when x is equal to 1, y is equal to minus 12. Now from our day 0 second video, I can start plotting this on the graph or the Cartesian coordinates as well, right? So we know that game, input and output, and putting or finding the value of the expression for a given value of the variable. Again, the general sentence becomes complicated. Look at the examples, get very comfortable with it. The moment you master this, once again, you have captured a big algebra territory as far as concepts are concerned, right? So let's play with this game a little more. What if I put x is equal to 2? So instead of x, wherever there is an x, I am putting a 2. So this will become 2 square. This will become 2 into 2, right? Please take all the steps by yourself, especially if you are a beginner. If you already know this, then you can move fast through the story, or maybe just skip the process altogether, right? And then this minus 15 is equal to y. Let's calculate this. 4 plus 4, 8. 8 minus 15 is going to give you minus 7. So y is equal to minus 7. So I can start making a table. X is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 12. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to minus 7. And I can go step by step. Right now I'm just trying to understand the relationship that for any given value of x, I am connecting it now to a second variable. Now instead of xy, you could have a p is equal to q, you could have a equal to b or whatever. But the essential idea being, now I am thinking in terms of, if I put instead of a variable, if I put a constant, what is the final output going to be, right? So this is again step 0, day 0, idea number 0 for whatever we are going to do next. So staying with the same expression, the same idea, and now I am already on to the idea of input output. That means I can put any value of x. Just hit pause right now and maybe put x is equal to minus 7, or put x is equal to 90, and then calculate the output of y. That means be very comfortable with this very basic idea, because again, as I mentioned earlier, you keep moving ahead in the story, but the basic idea never goes away. So the most complex idea is also made up of these basic ideas, right? So I know input output, I'm understanding that, but okay, let me analyze this further. A point of interest always for me is, where is the value, output value 0? because again we saw it in the introductory graph video, that I'm very interested in where the graph or the line or the curve is going to cut the axis, x-axis as well as the y-axis, right? So now I'm thinking, okay, at what value does this expression become equal to 0? And for those values of x for which this expression becomes equal to 0, we call them roots of the polynomial, roots of the equation, or modern day term is also the 0 point of the expression or the equation as such. And we'll see it very quickly, and for later purposes the hint is here as well. If I put x is equal to 3, because this expression and this expression are identical, right? If I put 3, 3 minus 3, it becomes 0, 0 into whatever will give you a 0. So I know if I put x is equal to 3, y is equal to 0. Just for fun, we got the 0 by using this point of view. Just for fun, put 3 here and calculate it. 3 square, 9. So notice that with each passing example, I start removing the formality and start calculating directly. So this time I'm not writing down 3 bracket whole square. I'm directly calculating the value. But in school days, this would have taken a month or 15 days or 1 year, maybe next year you learn this. But right now, example by example, because now we are not interested in writing down these steps. We want to get to the answer. In school, we got marks for steps, right? Now we just want answers. So learn to write this faster and faster. 2 into 3 is going to be 6. And eventually this can be done only 9 plus 6, 15, minus 15, 0, right? And minus 15 is equal to y, and I know this is equal to 0. So this x is equal to 3, or 3 is the root or the 0 point of the equation. We'll more formally call it root only. So this is the root of this equation. If I equate it equal to y, then it becomes an equation. And what does it mean? What do I mean by the root? I mean, at what point does this whole expression become equal to 0? Why am I interested in 0? Because in case you have already made graphs for quadratic equations, what are quadratic equations? What are the details of them? We'll cover in due time. But let's say this is the symbolic representation and this is the root point. How am I drawing the graph? Input, output, input, output. I'll plot it on the graph. That much I'm assuming everybody knows because of day 1 graph theory. And when I plot the graph, this point is very interesting because beyond this point, the graph is positive. Behind this point, the graph is negative. Above this point, the graph is negative in this space, and then it is positive. That means for analysis purposes, where is the equation positive? Where is it negative? Where the output, how is the output behaving? The 0 is an interesting point. This is not needed. For our purposes, if you have understood that the root means at what value of x does y become equal to 0. Just to introduce the idea, and we have looked at this earlier as well, instead of y, we can also say function of x, right? Because y is a function of x. And what do I mean by this language? Again, has been covered in the very first video as such, right? So not only, so now what have we done? We looked at input, output, input, output. I would start with easier equations as well if you are uncomfortable. I'll say, okay, this is 2x plus 5 is equal to y. X is 1, so this will become 2 plus 5, y will become 7. X is 2, this will become 4 plus 5 is equal to 9, right? So basic input output game now at the quadratic level. And now also interest in when is this going to be 0, and whenever it is 0, that point is known as the root. Staying with the very same idea, again look at this expression and this are the same thing. Again notice this part of the story. If I put x is equal to minus 5, if I input in this story minus 5, minus 5 plus 5 will become 0. Whatever this value is, I don't need to calculate. Overall value will become 0. So if I have this factorized form where the roots are going to be, what is the 0 point is going to be very easy for me, and that is why we were learning factorization in the previous video, right? So this view very clearly tells me this was one root, and I just have to be a little careful that also for the first hour in the beginning couple of days, that When I have a plus sign here, that means when I put x is equal to -5, -5 plus 5 will give me a 0. So my second root is going to be -5. So let's again check it out, and it is also a practice of input output. If you're a beginner level guy, you need to know this in your system, right? So -5 square 25, but a +2 into a -5 will give me a -10, and then a constant -15, and this is equal to, let's start writing fx is equal to y equal to, let's calculate the value. So 25 minus 10 will give you a +15, and a 15 minus 15 will give you a 0. So when x is equal to -5, y is equal to 0. Whenever y is equal to 0, that point is known as the root, right? Or the solution, or the 0 point. And why is 0 of interest? That is basically because the 0 point tells me the change in the story. Before the 0 point, the graph is going to be negative. After the 0 point is going to be positive. But for our purposes, just understanding input output, and then noticing that if I have this form, it's very easy to guess the root. And what do we mean by the root? Once we plug in the root, the expression becomes equal to 0.